Hey guys, what is up? It is Bibzuda7 here again, and I am here on my Hardcore Iron Man with my new friend, the Ellie Pet, and my Chaos title, here to give you a breakdown of pretty much how I got my title, and if you want to follow the same path, you can, or if you want to do something different, you can do that as well, of course. But this is what I did to get my Chaos title, and it's probably not even the best route, but it worked for me and ended up getting it for me right at the very edge of being attackable at Revenants, so it ended up working out quite well. But either way, first off, I just did a couple of quests to get myself started. So I did the Blood Pact and Rune Mysteries, and then I went and got 30 magic at the Troll Shamans, which are at the Berthorpe Caves, and then I got 5 crafting from just doing like 1 inventory of flax, I think. Then I did quite a few more quests. So I did Ernest the Chicken, Gunner's Ground, Goblin Diplomacy, Druidic Ritual, Pirate's Treasure, and 1 Piercing Note. Then that will give you 25 quest points, and I went and got the Tier 1 Magical Dice from the Quest Point Shop, which the Quest Point Shop is really important for the method I used. And I used that money, which is I think 250k, to buy runes and a Battle Staff in Varrock, Battle Staff being a Tier 30 staff. And then I got 40 magic, which you can either do at the Lumbridge Combat Academy using the books to get 40, or you can train to 40 and then use the books, which might get you 50, might not. I'm not 100% sure, but either way, you got to get 50 magic, and at some point along the way, you want to do the Combat Academy to skip some levels. After I did the Combat Academy, I trained at Ogres to get my level 50, which is pretty slow and boring, but it is pretty much the best place as far as I know to train, because it's easy to safe spot and there's not too many people there usually, and it's just not too bad, but you will splash quite a bit. Then you want to get 25 range back at the Berthorpe Caves. Following up on that, you want to do Plague City, Biohazard, and Underground Pass, which will get you the Tier 50 Iban Staff. You want to take that and train to 60 magic. I did it back at the Ogres. It's much better with the Tier 60 or Tier 50 staff rather. Then you want to go do the Mage Arena in the Wilderness, which the fight for that is pretty easy, and you can claim your Gothic staff. You want the Gothic staff for sure. And you also really need to unlock the spell by using the Divine Storm spell 100 times in the arena. It can be really quick if you have a wand and a book and just spam it on something. You can use up the 100 casts really fast, but you really want that spec for both Cast Elemental and Revenants. And then from there, you want to go and get the Cast Elemental pet. So you should be around 51 to 52 combat. And if you're planning on doing it yourself without an alt or anything, you can buy food at the Grand Tree, and that'll get you some nice food if you buy the Tangled Toad's Legs and the chocolate things, the chocolate bombs. Or you can use an alt to tank it, which is what I did. I used my main to tank it for me. But, I mean, obviously some people are going to disapprove of that, but in my opinion, it's in the wilderness. All bets are off. If you're on a hardcore Iron Man, you can do whatever the hell you need to do to survive in the wilderness. But I'll show you the method I used in a little bit. But yeah, you basically camp there and make sure you always know your attackable range. So you start out in the 50s, but that combat XP adds up pretty quick. You need to keep an eye on that and make sure you are not going to be attackable by people that you expect to not be attackable by. But I did 1259 kills and I got the pet at 70 combat, so I still had a little bit of leeway left there, and it was pretty common to get the pet by that point, so you shouldn't have too many issues with that. And then after that, realistically, you could go straight to revs at this point, but in my opinion, it's worth doing some more quests to get the Tier 75 weapon and kill some of the higher leveled revs a lot easier, as it is a really huge jump in accuracy, and you can splash more than you think at Revenants. So I did a bunch of quests. I'll just put a list in like the description, I guess, but of the quests I did. There's not really any too important or specific. I just did random ones that gave me quest points for the most part. And yeah, there's really not a whole huge perfect order to it, but I will put a list in the description of everything I did to get my 150 quest points. And you also need to make sure if you didn't get it while getting Cast Elemental Pet, you get 75 magic, and then also 58 crafting for the Pharynthry bracelets, because you really need those to prevent them from being aggressive, the Revenants in the Revenant Cave. And after that, I was about 82 combat at that point because I got some defense XP from some quests, and I went and got the chaos title from there. Bring the G staff, and I killed all the revenants up to and including the demon. So you have the imp, 2 goblins, a cyclops, and a pyre fiend, and the demon in the south side. And then the north side, there's 2 goblins again, the ice fiend, the imp, the werewolf, the vampire, and the hellhound, and the hobgoblin. And you kill all of those in kind of like a cycle. I'll show a cycle on my main account as well as the method for luring chaos elemental in the clip after this, but basically that's what you do, and you camp it there until you can get your full title. One thing that I did was I got some grand seed pods from the Gnome Restaurant minigame to go ahead and tele out with if I needed to, so you guys can do that if you think you will need them. And also, as you can see in the chat right here, maybe if I am showing this clip, I'm not sure, but if you need to, which I almost did, you can reset your defense level with Nastroth in Lumbridge to reset your defense to 1. And if your defense is 1 and your attack, if your defense is 1 and you get 99 magic and 99 HP, you'll only be like 94 combat, so you'll never be attackable by max players, even if you get somehow like insanely unlucky, like impossibly unlucky almost. But you hopefully won't have to worry about that. But yeah, that's pretty much my method, you guys. But if you have any questions, do please leave them in the comments down below. I'm sure nobody probably is even going to attempt this, but if you do, I figured I'd present my method for those who are interested. And now I will just show a quick couple clips of on my main account of how I lured the Chaos Elemental and also the route that I ran to kill the Revenants in the Rev Caves. Alright guys, so first things first, I'm going to show my method for luring the Chaos Elemental. I'm here on my main account, so no worries about dying or anything. But pretty much what I did was there's a rock. You can actually, is that the rock? I think this is the rock that I used, and I lured it behind this rock and then just walked out from behind the rock back and forth with my hardcore, tanking it with my main until it died. So some people might consider this a cheese method, but honestly I don't care too much because all bets are off. Like I said, in the wilderness, all bets are off. If you're on a hardcore, you can do whatever you need to get the get yourself what you're trying to do and survive. So I would stand right here, it would come over there, I would have my account be standing over here somewhere, and then I would just run out and over there with this account and just stand there tanking it and eating food that I would bring, and I'd have a yak and just full of food and just be eating. And then every time the Chaos Elemental attacked my main account, I would step out right here where you can hit it and use an ability and then step back, and then it would attack my main. I would step out, use an ability, step back, and it would usually take kind of a long time to kill it, and I did that for 1,259 kills before I finally got my drop. But yeah, it was definitely worth it because I don't think you could really do it reliably at all without having to eat like a whole inventory of food on an account with such low combat stats like I had when I was starting here. So yeah, that's just the way I did it. If you ever need to bank because you have drops or something, it drops you quite a lot of drops actually, and I'll probably show you guys in the first real episode of my progress on my hardcore all the stuff I managed to get from Chaos Elemental. Bunch of seeds, quite a bit of cash as well that you're going to want to pick up, some runes, stuff like that. And then I ran and banked over here at ED2 because there's a banker like right here on the coast that you can use to bank your stuff, so it's nice and convenient getting back and forth from there. So that is what I did for the Chaos Elemental. Like I said, a bit cheese, but that's just the way you're gonna have to do it if you want to do the low combat method and not risk completely getting destroyed by someone or by the Chaos Elemental itself. So we are here now at the Wilderness Lodestone, and this is where I teleported to many times with my hardcore, and I was buying food at the Grand Tree and brisk coming here from the Lodestone every time. And I'll just show you the route that I ran to kill the Revenants, as well as where I had my main account positioned, I guess, because I did have my main account logged in. It saved me that one time that I almost died. Although it didn't really save me because I think I had gotten away anyways. It just prevented him from continuing to chase me further, even though I'm pretty sure I was clean out of there. But oh, look at that, the Hellfire bow's here. How about that? If you're ever in the wild, you see someone with the Hellfire bow in your chat, always look them up, make sure they can attack you, even if they're nowhere near you in the wilderness. Let me use this just in case. But pretty much what I would do is I would kill this imp here, and then watch me get like the Statius plate body as well. And then I would kill the 2 goblins. I won't kill everything, but I killed the 2 goblins, and then I killed the Cyclops, the Pyre Fiend, which is the thing that ultimately dropped me my thing, and then the demon, and then I'll also kill the imp again, because by the time you do all this stuff and the demon after that, the imp will likely have spawned back in, and you might as well kill it again. I actually got a lot of drops from the imp, but the orc and up you really can't kill with your tier 75 staff reliably, so I wouldn't recommend it. But every hour when you have to repel and you get a minute of immunity, kill the knight, kill the dark beast, kill the dragon, kill one of the high level things when they can't hit you, as you know, they have a better drop chance, but it doesn't make a huge difference. But so when I come up to the north side, I killed the imp once, and then I come down here and kill the goblin and the ice fiend. And then I will kill this goblin, because the goblin up here and this vampire, as well as the goblins down there, take a bit longer to spawn than other things. So I usually kill them first when they're alive. So I'll kill this vampire. And then I will kill the hellhound, and then the hobgoblin, and then the werewolf, and the imp up here will also be spawned again. So you'll kill 4 imps per cycle technically, and then just go back down, and everything will pretty much be spawned. Although usually when you're coming back for a second cycle, you'll have to kill the imp, and then the Cyclops, and then the Pyre Fiend, and then the demon, and then the goblins will spawn back in alongside the second imp, and you can kill that again. So that's pretty much the route that I did these guys with. It's pretty good because they spawn at pretty much the same rate as you'll be running around and doing it, but you really like splash so freaking much with that tier 75 staff on the orc or the dark beast or the dragon or the knight. So not recommended to kill those in my opinion, but you can really, I mean, you can try if you want, but I would not recommend that. So yeah, for the inventory setup, I guess I could also go over that on my hardcore really quick, so I will do that fast for you guys. Alright guys, so back on the hardcore here, I just wanted to show you my inventory setup. I actually have it set as a preset, so you can see before you get the Ghost Hunter gear as drops, just use the Armor of Trials from the Quest Point shop, as you have to buy it all anyway to get the staff. So just use that. That's what I use for my gloves and boots. I wear a Ring of Life. I don't even know if that can save you, but I don't have any other ring to wear, so why not? The Guthix Cape, definitely want to wear that. And then replace with Ghost Hunter when you get it. And also the Phoenix Necklace could save you, so I just bring it. I mean, why not bring it? I didn't start bringing it until quite late in because my friend was like, you should probably bring that. And I was like, good idea. So bring the Phoenix Necklace, and I actually bring 2. I'll bank 1 shark and bring another one. So what I have here is an inventory setup that relies a lot on this anniversary cake. You can eat this once every 3 minutes, and it heals me for 2k, which is as much as a shark. So I can sustain myself completely off of just that, and I've been doing that for the last few trips. So that's why I have so many sharks and brews in my inventory here. But generally, you want to obviously bring as many seed pods as you have to tell yourself out, your runes, your bracelet, your Gothic staff, your enhancer, and then I have an extra Phoenix necklace that I also bring. And then I have this cake, which you obviously won't have if it's not during this event. And if it's not during the event, I would bring this much food and 1 brew along with me, and then the rest would be chocolate bombs and tangled toad's legs. And then once I used all the chocolate bombs and tangled toad legs, I would leave, keeping all this food just for emergencies. But you can vary how much food and brews you bring just to make you feel comfortable, but that's the general setup I went with, and it worked pretty well for me. I only started bringing the brews and sharks after I almost died that one time, but I would recommend you do it. You can usually get sharks from the Chaos Elemental if you do bother to bank them, which I did, which is why I have some saved up here. So yeah, that is definitely a thing I would recommend to pick up while you're at the Chaos Elemental. But Anyways, that's pretty much my method. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll be sure to answer them. And if you are going to go for this insane goal, good luck to you. I don't envy you at all because it is really stressful and just such a grind. But I'm really happy to have finished it, and I'm really looking forward to continuing on this account. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.